A very good day to you. This is, of course, Jamie on the Chat Trap, the show where we trap you with the best of conversation right here on Relax Radio. Now, today we've been talking about a lot of serious things. We've been talking about poverty, we've been talking about poverty alleviation, and we've been talking about, how in general what is going on in the world. But I wanted to divert from that topic a little and talk to you about something that I feel like you will find really interesting and useful in your everyday, day to day life. Now, okay, one thing that I guess every single one of us want to achieve in life is obviously happiness. Every single one of us wants to be happy. Every single one of us wants to find, what makes us happy and find our own joy in this world. Now, what I want to do is to share with you a few certain things that you must absolutely avoid, that because these things tend to steal your happiness and steal your joy. Now, okay, I believe that there are two reasons that keep us away from happiness, that keep us away from feeling excited and elated about every single moment of our lives. Now, firstly, one is that we do not focus on the little things that can make us happy. Now, this is one thing that I guess every single one of us tend to do. We forget about everything that we have around us, and we have a tendency to complain about things that are not in our, that's not in our power at the end of the day. Now, secondly, I also believe that we tend to focus on little things that do not matter in life. We focus on trivial things, we focus on inconsequential things at the end of the day steal our happiness. Now, have you ever asked yourself, if you have a roof over your head, if you have your meals, then why can we not be happy 24 hours a day? Why cannot we be happy every single moment of our lives? Well, I think it's because we have already decided that we cannot go ahead without worry and tension. It's like every single day we wake up in the morning thinking of all of the anxious tasks or the impossible tasks that we have to get done within the day, and that essentially puts our minds at such a stressful level, and it's almost as if we cannot even function a single day. We pre-think that we cannot even function a single day without worry or tension. Now, we have made sorrow and grief and depression a part of our daily life. Okay, so the height is that you can pass a whole day without happiness, but you cannot find a whole day without some worry. Does that make sense for you? That For me, rather, that sentence in itself makes so much sense. It's that you can pass a whole day without happiness, but you cannot even find a single day in your life without some sort of a worry, right? Now, we're working hard to get more things every day, which I absolutely understand. Every single one of us, in order to live, in order to gain the basic needs of life, in order to live a basic standard of living, we are coerced to do certain things that sometimes may not want to. And the reason we're doing it is because someday in the future, we want to possess so many more things than we do have right now. Be it, even if it's just status at the end of the day, we want to possess things that we don't have. Now, that's the difference of us now as adults and us as children. When we were children, we were so much happier just because we never had big things to worry about. Now, as you grow up, it's obvious that you have so much more responsibility, you have so much more to worry about, which is absolutely fair enough. But what I want to try to do is to help you with all of this worry that naturally comes into our day to day lives. I want to give you a few tips and, advices, I could say, that would absolutely help you deal with your everyday stress situations, or help you become a more happy person. Now, the basis to everything that I'm going to say from here on now is based on one sentence, okay? And that one sentence is, it is not how much we have, but it's how much we enjoy that makes happiness. So you could absolutely have a very cheap meal, but be extremely elated, be extremely happy about it. And there could be somebody that's enjoying £1,000, a few courses of meals, and that couldn't gain happiness from that experience. So I think we did speak about this at previously also. But what I'm trying to say is, at the end of the day, how happy you are is decided by you and you only. Now, okay, so going back to a few things you can do to ensure that you are more happy every single day. First thing that I feel like a lot of us tend to do is to compare ourselves with others. Now, from childhood, we are taught by society in itself to compare what we have with what other people have. It could be talents, it could be physical, materialistic things, whatever it is. At the end of the day, we are almost conditioned to compare certain things that we have with other people. Now we compare with our brothers. I mean, if you do have siblings, then you know for a fact that you grew up comparing whatever you have with what your siblings have. If you were a competitive person, then you know that you grew up comparing what you have with your friends as well. Now, the point is that we hold this belief, I would say, that we will be more happy or we will be super happy when we have more than what others have. Now, why do you think humans tend to think like this? Why do you think everybody thinks that, oh, the only way we can be happy or the only way we can experience true joy is if I have more money, or if I have more, say, cars or whatever it is, more than the other person? Now, that's something society, I believe, has conditioned us to believe because, see, even sometimes we are happy because others are in pain. As horrible as it is to say out loud, sometimes putting somebody else down has taught us to derive happiness. Now, that way you can see that your happiness is totally dependent on others. Now, that's what I want you to stop doing. I want you to stop depending your happiness on other people, be it people, be it some materialistic thing, whatever it is. Make sure that you don't that happiness at the end of the day is only dependent on you and yourself only. So stop comparing. Be happy because you got something. If you have a roof over your head, if you have whatever means it takes to get through your day-to-day life, then you have a reason to be happy. Because like I always say, there is somebody out there who looks at you and wishes that they live the life that you do. So don't teach yourself how you can be happy, not because you got something better than others did, but just because you deserve to be happy. Now, that's the first thing that I do want to talk to you about. The second thing that I want to remind you is to stop brooding over past mistakes. I feel like as human beings, again, we are taught to feel guilty. Nobody is born with the feeling of guilt. But I feel like we're taught to be guilty about our past mistakes. And see, no matter how bad something you did in your past is, you being upset over it or you grieving over it isn't really going to change anything. Now, I know you've heard this 100 times, but I want you to remember to stop spending so much energy of your day to day life on the past. You will say that it's not easy for you to forget about the things that you did or the things that you said or some decision that you made. But remember, easy or difficult, it is a choice at the end of the day, and a choice that you absolutely must make if you do want to feel happy. We can choose our thoughts. Like I keep telling you, you are the only creator of your thoughts. So tell yourself that if it's worth thinking about, don't let your mind have power over you, and don't brood over your past mistakes. The final thing that I do want to remind you is to not expect too much from others. I know this is kind of controversial, and I know that you're probably thinking, "Oh my goodness, no, that is so pessimistic and that is so negative." But listen, there's obviously a positive route into not expecting too much from others. See, when again it comes back to dependency, in my belief. Okay, so what we believed is that in this earth we have this a thought or presumption that everybody owes us something. We are under the impression that our parents owe us to help us lead a better life. We're under the impression that our boss owes it to us to give us a good works environment, give us a good headspace. But that's not how the world works. And that's what I mean by when I say don't expect too much from others. The world absolutely owes you nothing. The only person that owes you is yourself. So make sure that you expect a lot from yourself, but also be forgiving, not just to yourself, but to those around you as well. So always remember, don't expect things from other people, because expect rather less than what you want from them, so that you won't get in that position of a vulnerable and hurt. So make sure that you do remember that. Make sure that you remember everything that I said, and I promise you that life is going to get much easier.